So when we survey the landscape of IT, cybersecurity is a hot button topic that's been coming up recently. And I think within logistics, it's a top 5 sector that's likely going to be targeted by a major IT attack or cyber attack within the next 5 years. So with that in mind, how have organizations evolved to kind of combat some of that and make efforts to be more preventative to avoid the issue in the first place?
Want me to start?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll let you start that one.
There's a lot of meat on the bone there.
Yeah, yes. Well, I think cybersecurity has been always an issue, right? And not like for the last, 10 years, but probably more the last 25 years, 30 years, right? Because I grew up just listening about hackers, attacks, Russia, Ukraine, whatever, all those kind of stuff that, well, if you are an IT guy, you like IT, you know everything about it. Like, you know what they're talking about. So I think cyber risk is not like a new thing. It's just like a very old thing. But the thing is that nobody's just putting like all the effort they have to try to avoid any kind of cyber attack or whatever. You start to think about, I have to improve my cyber policies. I have to create like a department to handle and manage all the cyber risks that I have once you get something, right? And that's the problem, right? So right now, I think for the last 10 years, we have seen like the cybersecurity officer, all those new roles coming up to the market. I think that's something that is just like being there for a long time, but everyone has just put eyes on it because we are we are more connected community than 10 years ago, like TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, all those social medias that they're just propagating like all the bad things and the good things, right? So now I think the cyber risks that I have today is very different than what I had in the past. Because in the past, we're just like looking for someone coming to my bank and, rob all the money that I have. Now it's different. Like, they're just trying to avoid a specific hacker, shut down an entire country or entire company, right? So I think it's just like a kind of way that we're seeing like in a different perspective because cyber problems we always have like in the past, and then now it's just like in a way how we're managing, how much effort we're putting on it to avoid risks. And I think it's a kind of natural thing now, especially for this generation, because 50 years ago we never thought about multi-factor authentication, right?
Right.
So now you have to have it. Like a person, my kid, like my son, he's 10 now. He has multi-factor authentication for his tablet. Holy crap! So really, at his age, I was just eating dirt and playing soccer in the street. So, and I think it's just like a kind of mindset that this generation, and of course, like we've been part of that. Like we saw these things growing. Like we saw all the new policies, the new departments, the new books or whatever that I have to read just to understand how can we avoid those things. And like I said, I think like cyber risk we always have like in the past, but now is the amount of effort and money you're putting to try to avoid that's coming like is becoming more like open, like everyone is seeing that. It's more common than before. So I think that's only the way that I have to make some RP because I'm just creating like a new cyber team just to avoid like the attack that I have 2017 is just like something that nobody was expecting that but happened. Yeah. So what are they gonna do, right? So it's just a kind of mindset. They have that, so what they're doing now. So it's a kind of they are just putting more things like in the out loud just to let I maybe like just the way I'm trying to say is just like now we have more propaganda than before. Mm-hmm. Right? It's more exposed, right? So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think, for a long time, folks viewed criminals as going into a bank and stealing money and holding up a convenience store. Now it's much more isolated. So yeah, it's shifting the mindset and putting the focus more on those preventative pieces that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it also too. I mean, from a criminal standpoint, you're not putting a face. When somebody had to go into a bank, your face is there. It's like, with cybercrime, you're completely, there is no face. They don't know who you are. It can be completely anonymous.
Yeah.
I think the bigger issue is, you can have a cybersecurity team and department, and that's great. And they can look at the infrastructure and they can look at some of the key elements in IT. But some of the vulnerability areas, are really things like the email and some of those things, which is then really everybody's responsibility. Everybody in the organization should be responsible for, looking, knowing, if they get something in, being able to scrutinize it and look at certain key pieces of an email to say, this doesn't seem right, that's not right. And a lot of people, I see it in multiple organizations, they don't. It's just, I got this from this person. Oh, let me just see. Oh, that looks interesting. Click, or let me see this link. And next thing you know, now the company's got an issue. So, it's an important topic, I think, right now. I mean, just given the nature of where, IT has gone with a lot of things in the cloud and a lot of things, no real main physical servers, in locations anymore where you could typically do things with.
Just one comment. The way I see, I'm saying that we always had cyber teams in the past, not trying to put a bad word what we have today. It's just because we didn't have we didn't put so much attention in what we had in the past compared to what we have now, right? I remember that time that we just had a network specialist, but that guy was responsible for everything, the whole network, database, everything. He knew everything about the network, and he was a kind of person that was responsible for security, right? So I think it's just and I totally appreciate all those words they're just putting about the cyber officers, all these new roles, because we really need that. We're just shifting the age, right? We're shifting the generations, and we have to evolve. We have to move forward.
But you'd agree too. We need that because of the technology, the infrastructure, the networks have become so sophisticated
exactly.
now, so open that you need a group to really focus on that component.
Exactly.
Of it. So
just a different way to say, well, we evolved, right? In the past we have network, now we have cloud. So we have the network specialist, now we have a cloud specialist. So this is the kind of thing I want to say. Yeah.
And that opens doors to a lot of new career paths and growth opportunities within the IT space as well.
Sure.
Yep.
Which are really exciting and much needed, clearly.
Yeah. At that time, I remember a few friends of mine, they were just trying to take the CCNA, CCNP from Cisco, so all the certifications regarding network. And now they're just looking forward to cybersecurity, Azure, AWS, all these certifications that focus on services and cloud and policies, and security, right? So it's the same thing, but in a different generation, right? So we evolve, and we have to evolve the role. That's the way I see it.
For sure. Well said.